Welcome to my channel. My name is Kinga and I started making YouTube videos to document for myself and my friends how I'm reinventing myself and my whole life after divorce. In this video, I want to share with you what I have recently understood about heartbreaks and what proved to be a gentle method for me to speed up the whole healing process. I wish I knew all this in my 20s. And at the end of the video, I will also tell you how you can attract the same person back after a breakup if that was meant to be. If during this video you feel like what I'm saying resonates with you or you just find it useful, please give it a like or even share it with others. Basically, soon after my divorce, I jumped right back into dating. First just out of confusion, I guess, and then out of curiosity, and at times out of boredom. But I have also met some people who I felt a strong connection with, and something started and then ended for different reasons. Basically, I dated a lot in the past 1 year for research purposes, just to see what's out there, help me define what kind of a man I would want to be with, because the more guys I spoke to, the more clarity I got on what works for me and what I like. But during this time, I ended lots of potential relationships too, meaning I experienced love and heartbreaks enough times to say, I want to understand this better. I want to be able to deal with the emotional pain quicker, and I want to be able to gain control over my feelings, and I want to be able to feel good and even loved, without any outside conditions or regardless if I'm in a relationship or not. Now, if this is something you would also desire to achieve this state, then stick around because I believe this is the video you need to hear. Okay, so I used to allow heartbreaks, breakups, ending of relationships to push me down to the dark hole of depression. But one day, actually not too long ago, I just had enough. I was feeling this emotional pain and I hated the fact that ending a relationship, regardless of its length and whoever ended it, could have such an effect on me. I felt like some outside force had the power to play with me, making me feel like a puppet on a string, where I dance how I'm being moved around and I suffer when someone cuts me off of the string. And I wanted to find an inner balance that would stay with me, regardless of being in or out of a relationship. A stable feeling of love and happiness and being excited about life, even after ending a relationship. I knew that this inner balance had something to do with finding love in me and, learning to love myself, being in alignment with my source energy and not expecting or needing that love from outside. Through my daily meditations and lots of reading and thinking, I learned to find this inner peace. But I felt it was challenging at times to keep this balance while in a relationship, and especially after ending one. And I realized that what I'm doing wrong is that when someone comes along, I put my focus on that person so much that I think I'm happy and balanced and centered, but it is all false because I actually achieved that state through him, through looking at him, loving me, complimenting me, doing things I like or things I want him to do. But if, God forbid, he does something I don't like or says something that triggers me, my whole system collapses and I get flooded with all kind of negative emotions. Now, does it sound familiar? So the inner balance I thought I achieved was all false, or at least too fragile, because I let it depend on someone else's actions. And basically that's what we all do. We observe our reality, what people say and do around us, and we allow that to induce certain feelings in us. But what if we could achieve a feeling state where we just felt happy and loved, regardless of, what the other person said or did? If we could keep our balance, even if they broke up with us. Now, that would be this ideal state of feeling centered, being connected, or in alignment with our source energy or higher self. You don't have to be able to be in alignment all the time, because that's almost impossible. You're going to find yourself falling out of it from time to time, when you just react to things. But you should practice being in this happy center state as much as possible. How do you achieve it? Through daily meditations. How do you stay in it? Well, the more you can maintain this centered state, the more you realize how good it feels in contrast to when you are out of alignment. And trust me, you will want to stay in it as much as possible. You will fall out of it and you will feel negative emotions, showing you that you are not in alignment, and you will hopefully do your best to get back into it. So again, you do this through meditations. And meditation can be just, walking through a forest alone and quieting your mind or listening to music. So whatever does it for you. And the more you practice, the quicker you will be able to center yourself again. Okay, so let's say you find this inner balance or peace, state of alignment. So you have a good base, but relationships will bring the biggest challenges and also opportunities for growth and even past trauma healing. So you will find situations during any relationships that will trigger you and make you do stupid stuff, make you react negatively and feel hurt. But the more you can stay in alignment, the quicker you find the way back to it. And the less you're going to react in these situations and the less they will affect you. The most common negative feelings, I think, that trigger our inner child and its unhealed trauma and pain is the feeling of rejection, abandonment, not being good enough, or the fear of being alone. And breakups are huge at bringing these forward. I personally knew I had to work with childhood trauma because there were situations where when I felt being left or not wanted, they really triggered me. And that's when you kind of get this brain fog and you stop thinking and feeling as an adult, and the child in you takes over. For example, if I felt being left at the age of 3, a part of me stopped there in my development, and it would kick in every time, I get the same feeling or the same thing gets triggered in me. Even at 40, if I feel like someone may leave me, this 3 years old comes on stage and I stop being a grown-up about the situation and I will act and feel like this 3 years old self of me. If that's the case for you too, grab a big soft pillow like this. And look at it like if you were looking at the younger version of you, that child that felt being left or rejected at a certain age. And tell that child that, hey, you are not being left. I'm here for you. I love you. I will take care of you. I'm not going anywhere. I'm the adult version of you. And you can go back to being a child and I would deal with all the adult stuff over here. And, just do this every day. I mean, you don't have to wait for a breakup. Just project your feelings into that pillow, comfort it, hug it, love it. And if you do it right, you will probably cry too. I mean, I did so many times. So do it as long as you need doing it, or even at certain situations when you feel being abandoned, not needed, thrown away, or whatever. It's just, probably some unhealed childhood trauma in you that needs some TLC. I did this pillow technique myself, and it helped me tremendously. Okay, let's say you find your inner peace, you healed your inner child, yet breakups will still be painful and hard to deal with. Why? Because something that was part of your everyday life has ended. Because, your story was stolen, taken away from you. The story of your ideal partner and you in this ideal relationship. Something that you were part of and something that was a part of you. And you are now feeling empty without it. And this is where I thought, hang on a second, what if we are not missing the relationship and the person, but the feeling state this relationship or our partner's words and actions put us in? So I basically separated the conditions I was focusing on from the feeling it generated in me, and I decided to replace those conditions with an image that would induce the same feeling in me, yet no one could rob me of. So by the other person leaving, he would not get to take that image away from me, so I wouldn't feel empty after a breakup. In fact, I would still feel like if I was in the same love story. And we create with our thoughts. We send those thoughts out and we bring those creations to life, or, with other words, we attract those to our reality with our feelings. So if we keep focusing on the ideal relationship and the partner we would like to attract, and we see ourselves already living in that relationship instead of focusing on the lack of it, it will change our feelings, our vibration accordingly. Or with other words, the energy of the electromagnetic field that we are broadcasting. And whatever you are broadcasting is what you are attracting back to you. It's like setting your radio tuner to the frequency of the channel you want to listen to. The brain doesn't know if you are just imagining things or you are actually living it. You can have the same chemical reactions in your body and produce the same hormones just by remembering a story, a past situation, or imagining a future story, the same way as if you were living it right now. So, that's great. And you also get to decide what thoughts you choose to focus on, what story you imagine. So I don't see why couldn't you or wouldn't you rewrite and tell your own love story and imagine yourself already living it. The key is seeing yourself in this ideal relationship without visualizing a particular person in the story. So don't give it any face or name or whatever. Just keep it unconditional, make it blurry, make it just general, and letting yourself feel happy and in love while visualizing. So if you do this, you will have no choice but attracting that ideal relationship and partner. But just make sure to keep it general and focus on the feelings. So I would visualize a relationship that feels safe and fun and joyful and easy and smooth and feels like homecoming and natural and built on this deep spiritual connection, mutual trust, respect. And I would wish for easy communication and consistency and great conflict solving skills. And I would imagine me and my partner waking up next to each other, happy and loving and grateful and doing fun stuff together during the day and have amazing sex and help each other grow. And, just make a list of what would make you happy and visualize it. Read it out loud, see it with your mind's eyes, and do it until you feel in love with this relationship. I sometimes do it to the point where I even cry, like happy tears. And I'll tell you a secret. If this partner of yours that you just broke up with, for whatever reason, is the person who can and will fulfill that ideal image that you put out there, if he is the person who can make you and your relationship feel like that, he will come back. Because maybe you just broke up due to temporary misalignment, separation or disconnection from your inner self, because that happens. So it's either him coming back or someone who would be a better match. Now, how cool is that? Basically, you have not lost anything. Sometimes you have to stop thinking that he was the best. Because if you think back to all your previous relationships, don't you see an evolution in the partners you attracted? Don't you see an evolution in the quality of your relationships? Because I do. And I understood that the better person I become, the better man I get to choose, and the better my relationships become too. So there is hope for something better. Or if he was the perfect one, he will grow into that image and come back. How and when you come together with someone is the strongest indicator of compatibility. You want to be with someone who finds you while you were feeling good about yourself and life in general, while you were both in alignment. Only that relationship has true potentials. If you were brought together based on sharing negative emotions such as lack, pain, hopelessness, fear, whatever, trust me, that relationship has nothing positive to offer you long term. But because you already created the image of the ideal relationship in your head and you are already focusing on that, a better match will show up. Trust me. I met a guy online not long ago and oh my God, I thought he was the one. Like, he seemed to be the closest to my ideal match so far. And I let him and his words and the image of him and, my desires paint this beautiful image of a fantastic relationship with this guy. Until for whatever reasons, we had to end it. And it broke me. I was more stable than normally I would because of the pillow technique that I've been doing for a while now. But still, it broke me. And I felt empty and hurt and disappointed. Until I sat down, I decided to stop focusing on the loss and found meaning in this short relationship. So basically, I shifted my focus from loss to gain, and I recreated the image and the feeling of our relationship in my head and heart, understanding that it's not him I'm missing, but the image I thought I had to give up. I said thank you to the guy, not in person, but like in my head and out loud during the meditation. I said, thank you for helping me create this vision of a fulfilling, passionate, romantic relationship. And I also said, I now release you, but I keep this image and this good feeling in me. And thank you for this beautiful gift. Thank you for giving me clarity on what I want and what it would feel like. And I cannot tell you what calming feeling of relief came over me, like instantly. So fuck breakups. Find your center, get into alignment, heal your inner child, and paint the image of the ideal relationship for you that no one gets to take away from you. Also, please remember to focus on the gain, not the loss. Meditate on it, see him in front of you, think of him with love, and release him. Tell him I let you go because I have this image of my ideal relationship and partner, and I know that it's coming to me, and I am eternally grateful for your contribution to this image. I hope my thoughts helped you see things differently or gave you a new approach that resonates with you. And if you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And also don't forget to click on the bell sign for notifications of new videos. I'm aiming at 1 new video a week. Hope to keep in touch with you. Take care. Bye. If you want a more intimate content and daily communication, please go and join my Facebook group called Kinga, Kremer and Friends.